We called it. For any long-time viewers, this is going to be a victory lap. And if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, this is going to be infuriating. But we tried to warn y'all. Nolan a little bit more so than me. So, I'll end up giving him the reins here. But the Buffalo Bills, man, they lose to the Cincinnati Bengals 24-18 on Sunday Night Football. They fall to 5-4 in the season, and they are currently the 9 seed in the AFC, meaning they would miss the playoffs if they started today. How you feeling?
Actions speak louder than words, and that's all I gotta say to that, man. I mean, it's wild because yes, we called it. Yes, we made bold predictions, but for it to come to fruition this quickly is, it's kind of wild, and if you're a Bills fan, man, it's gonna get really ugly soon because your window, like we mentioned, was shut. And now after this season, if they don't make playoffs, oh my, that team is gonna blow up.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much of a blow up is needed. They have to fire Sean McDermott. A defensive-minded coach has got to go for this team. Josh Allen played his best football when Brian Daboll was there as the OC. He left because he was too good, and now he's a head coach. And last year, Daniel Jones had his best season ever under Brian Daboll. And Josh Allen regressed. And the offense has regressed again for Buffalo. And it's not a coincidence. They, for 2 off seasons, we talked about it, neglected having any form of a run game outside of their quarterback. They also neglected having a solid secondary weapon. And I had people telling me Gabe Davis is good. Gabe Davis is good. I don't think Gabe Davis is good. I said it. And in this game, 0 receptions for 0 yards. You can't have that out of your second best offensive option. Again, when you don't have a run game, then your wide receiver core better be loaded. Because Stephon Diggs is getting double teamed. Hell, even triple teamed at times in this game. And Josh Allen's trying to get him the ball, but at the end of the day, if 14's double teams, it's going to have to be somebody else. That's why Dalton Kincaid had 10 receptions in this game. And listen, Kincaid might be that guy for them, but we know with tight ends, it takes longer. They usually do not hit in the first year, and they don't come in and be your number 2 option like that right away. Like for Detroit, Sam Laporta, probably their second receiving option, but they have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in a real running game and a real offensive line. The Bills, it's a one-dimensional offense and a Josh Allen scramble. He had half of their running attempts in this game. What does this team do when they're in the big game? They take the run and throw it away because it's not dynamic enough for them. And we saw this coming a mile away. Stephon Diggs gets frustrated. And I hope for the team's sake that he doesn't ask out this offseason and is just happy with a new head coach in there. We know him and McDermott had problems this offseason. McDermott is going to eat the bullet on this one, and he should. He is the problem because and here's what I'll say. Tre'Davious White and Matt Milano being done for the season, that fucking blows. That sucks. Those were 2 of your 3 or 4 best defensive players. I get that. But to be out of the playoffs with the talent that you have remaining is still unacceptable. It'd be one thing if you made an AFC championship and you lost because you didn't have those guys. And I could say, well, you ran into Kansas City and you didn't have your, 2 of your 3 best defenders and you lost a close game. Bounce back next year. Go get them next time. To be 500, to be closer to last place than first place in the AFC, that's a problem when you have what is viewed as a consensus top 5 quarterback in Josh Allen, a consensus top 10 wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. I picked him to win the division. You were the favorites to win the division. That's a problem. And for me, the solution is very simple. You fire McDermott and go get Eric Bieniemy to be your head coach. Look what he's done in Washington. Seriously, Sam Howell has had probably, I don't know the number on it, but I would guess Sam Howell has had more 400 plus yard passing games this season than Josh Allen. Like, I would guess, because he's had 2 against the Eagles. So unless Josh Allen's had 3, which I doubt, that's the case. But man, if you were the Bills, is there any move you're looking to make besides fire McDermott? Because I really think they're a coach away from kind of steering the ship right and getting those guys back on defense from injury. But are you taking calls on Diggs? Are you trying to kind of do what the Chiefs did in terms of Tyreek Hill? Or just because, I don't know, because the Chiefs had Kelsey, though. It's not like you have another option.
Yeah, I mean, I think Diggs is probably gone this offseason.
You think he asks out, or you think that they want him
a little
out?
of both. I think him and Allen, you know, they haven't been on the same page since the summer, which we mentioned, and that whole saga. And you know, if I'm a Bills guy, like I think they have to make that move because you look at the future. They need receivers, they need an O line, they need a running back, they need to get younger. There's a lot of pieces they still need, and you know, I don't know if keeping Diggs and paying him all that money is worth it. So, I mean, you have your franchise guy in Josh Allen. You know, he's obviously not a top 3 guy right now, but he has a potential to possibly be that. And he's still pretty young. So you have to do as much as you can to really set him up for success. So that's what I would do. But I don't know, man. If the Bills and just that whole, it's just a sinking ship. That's what it is. And eventually it's just going to sink.
Yeah,
You know?
and they're not even trying to plug up the holes at this point. They're kind of just sitting around saying, God, please fix the holes in the ship.